Coming up on First at 4, an Eastern Kentucky nursing home is evacuated as a fire burns at a nearby energy plant. We'll have new information on that situation in Clay County. And Louisville police releasing 2 videos today showing the arrest of the world's #1 golfer, Scottie Scheffler. Why neither of the videos shows what Scheffler is accused of doing.
Plus, we could see more showers and storms this evening. Your first alert forecast coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, we are continuing to follow a story we first told you about yesterday at 4 regarding the Vinland Energy Plant. Overnight, Clay County emergency management officials say they noticed the fire at the plant reignited, causing concern for folks within a 1-mile radius of the plant. This led to an overnight evacuation of roughly 50 homes and residents at Laurel Creek Rehabilitation and Nursing Center. WYMT's Olivia Calfee has been in Clay County since earlier this morning working to learn more information. She joins us now live. Olivia, what have you learned?
Yeah, Steve, I want to go on ahead and share the newest information that we know with you today. I can tell you right now the road is back open that was blocking off residents from getting back to their houses. So the road's open, residents can return home, and the fire has been put out. It's still being monitored, but those are all good signs to see. And I'm going to go ahead and look down at my phone to make sure that I get all of this information correct. But I spoke with Ravel Berry, the deputy director with emergency management for Clay County, and she says that it appears that the fire started at the Vinland Energy Plant through some routine maintenance. She says there were no explosions, but there was an active propane burn, and she says that's why they made the decision to evacuate folks at a 1-mile radius. She says it was all for safety of the public and precautionary. And I'm standing here at Manchester Elementary School, and I've been here since about 9:30 this morning, and the parking lot was full. The American Red Cross was here helping folks who had been evacuated. And I'm standing here now and the parking lot is empty, so that's definitely a good sign. Now, once again, I just want to remind you all the road is back open. It is now safe for residents to return home. The fire is out. It's still being closely monitored, but it's okay for everyone to return back. And it seems like there is not a huge concern at this moment. So I will go on ahead and send it back to you, Steve. I am reporting live in Clay County.
All right, Olivia, thank you very much. Certainly some good news out of Clay County this afternoon. We were told they did put a local state of emergency in place. However, officials say that was also just precautionary to ensure they had the tools needed in the event something worse happened.
Well, the forecast today very similar to yesterday. We are watching out for some off and on showers and thunderstorms, and some of those could also be a little bit heavy in some areas. Let's go to the radar. You can see we have a severe thunderstorm watch in place for all the areas in yellow, basically along and west of Highway 15, and that will last through this evening. This does not mean everyone will see severe weather, but a strong storm or two cannot be ruled out, mainly in the Lake Cumberland area along and west of I-75. Up on first alert pinpoint Doppler, we are tracking some off and on showers and storms. One heavier downpour close to Frenchburg over in Menifee County right now. Also tracking some more light to moderate showers over parts of the Cumberland Valley close to Wayne County just to the west of Monticello at this hour. Again, could we see a stray shower or storm that's strong this evening? We could, but for most, not going to be a widespread issue. We are rebounding today into the middle and upper 70s and a few lower 80s, up to 81 for Somerset, up to 75 over in Jackson for Breathitt County at this hour. More hit or miss showers and storms are possible this evening. Also tracking some dense fog to go into late Thursday night. And to wake up on Friday, more spotty showers tomorrow, also on Saturday, and possibly a strong storm threat by Sunday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. Public education advocates have joined forces to launch a campaign against an amendment that will be on the ballot in Kentucky in November. WYMT's RJ Johnson takes a closer look at the campaign.
Advocates are warning about the impacts an amendment of House Bill 2 can have on public schools throughout the Commonwealth. Folks gathered at East Perry Elementary School to discuss the important role public education plays in the lives of many. Perry County School Superintendent Kent Campbell says the passing of the amendment will take money from public schools and funnel it into private schools.
Amendment 2, or the voucher amendment, as I like to call it, paves the way for our state to begin writing blank checks to private schools using dollars that should go to public schools and their students, and starve students of critical resources they need to receive the strongest education possible and help us set them up for a lifetime of success.
Campbell says the campaign's members will be traveling to other parts of the state to spread their message to protect public schools. In Perry County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Other leaders who joined the meeting say it is unfair to everyone involved in the public education system if this amendment passes. It's the video a lot of people have been waiting to see. Footage showing the moments leading up to the arrest of the world's #1 golfer, Scottie Scheffler, in Louisville. Scheffler was stopped by a Louisville police officer, and that officer says he ended up being dragged a short distance by Scheffler's car. Now, we don't see any of that happen on camera. The video was released by Louisville Metro PD after an internal investigation revealed the arresting officer failed to turn on his body camera. The only other view we see is from the police dash cam. It shows Scheffler being taken away in handcuffs by 2 officers. Scheffler was arrested for felony assault of an officer. That officer, Detective Brian Gillis, did not follow procedure and failed to turn his body camera on.
We understand the seriousness of the failure to capture this interaction, which is why our officer has received corrective action for this policy violation.
Information released today says Detective Gillis was also counseled by a member of his command. There was no mention of any other disciplinary action. AAA says 11% of Kentuckians will take to the roads this weekend. As we head towards the lakes and beaches, it's important to be mindful of animals that might be on the road. Thomas Young with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife says there's no shortage of critters that could be on the roadways this summer. Though he adds the bigger concerns are foxes, turtles, and deer, and maybe a few bears around here.
And so if you can just slow down, if at all possible, give the animal enough time to get across the roadway, or whatever issue you're with that animal. But that's probably the best scenario, is just give them some space and give them some time.
Kentucky Fish and Wildlife says if you can safely do so, it is okay to move turtles from one side of the road to the other if you can do it safely. But it's important to remember they do need to remain outdoors. Coming up on First at 4, the National Hurricane Center is predicting a particularly active Atlantic hurricane season. A look at how many of those storms are expected.
Plus, a severe thunderstorm watch is in place for some this evening. Those details coming up.